Okay, so right now I'd like to talk to you about bottlenecks in your business. When it comes to a software as a service company, like we're selling through AI Lead Furnace, which is my business, which is backed by HighLevel. When we think about the bottlenecks that could present themselves in this business, I think about delivery. And every time I bring on a new client, there is a very steep learning curve for the client. There is a setup that has to happen with each customer, even if you have a template in place, a snapshot in place that you can use to onboard a client within a certain industry. It's only 80% done. There's always going to be 20% that you have to customize yourself. So within HighLevel, they do give you snapshots for markets or businesses that are highly competitive within the high-level world. I'm talking HVAC companies, plumbers, electricians, lawyers, doctors, all the obvious ones. I would tell you that the gold that you're looking for, that gold mine, would be in markets that are a little less obvious. And the area that I would think of would be areas where the people in that business aren't necessarily salespeople, they are professionals. So when I say professionals, take an accountant, right? An accountant's not a salesperson. An accountant is an accountant. A lawyer is not a salesperson. A lawyer is a lawyer. A dentist isn't a salesperson. So if these companies are trying to grow, they need sales-focused solutions, not technology. They need sales-focused solutions. So you build a sales-focused solution for them, but then you still become the bottleneck. Because let's imagine, when I bring on board a new winery, I'm bringing on board a client that's going to take probably 4 to 8 hours a week of my time in understanding their business, understanding their technology, getting a techno stack together. And that simply means a techno stack is understanding all the technology within the business, and then what technology are you going to replace? And by doing so, save your client money, but also understand that you may have to have several conversations with people in the business, within the business, who don't necessarily or aren't ready to make that separation from their existing software. So you've got sort of some pushback happening inside the business of people not wanting to go through the digital transformation. And then you've got the setup. In the case of a winery, operating hours are different. They vary drastically between the various wineries that I work with. So in training an AI agent and creating a prompt for an AI agent, that prompt has to be trained specifically on each individual business. It's not saying, if you're a lawyer or a doctor and somebody is, or not a doctor, but a lawyer or an accountant and somebody's looking to book a consultation, that's pretty standard stuff. You can build a standardized prompt around that. But when somebody is looking to book a tasting at a business that has certain operating hours at different times of the year, and there's a number of different parameters that might cause the AI bot to get confused. Okay, that is something we call hallucinating, when the bot isn't quite sure of the answer because they're seeing the answer reflected differently, 2 or 3 different ways. A great example of that is, let's say your client has their hours of operation one way on their website, and they upload a training document into the AI tool, and they have different hours of operation. Well, now, which is the AI going to actually refer to? What is the one true source of information? Is it what it's seeing on the website, or is it seeing what it's seeing on the document? And so when the AI gives you bad information, your client will call and say, hey, why did the AI say I was closed when I was open? Or why did the AI try to book a reservation or a tasting when we weren't open? And so now you're spending your time not selling, you're spending your time as an agency owner looking for a needle in a haystack. So these are some of the things that you're going to find as you start off with HighLevel and you start working with AI, that if you work with businesses who are very complex, you have to build a bespoke, custom, complex solution. And sometimes those solutions break, and sometimes you have to go find why did they break, and that just takes a lot of time. So what I would recommend you do is do that for the first year, and then qualify. What kind of businesses do you want to work with? What kind of businesses are easy to work with? and which kind of businesses are high maintenance. I will tell you that I've identified through that hands-on experience which businesses are more difficult than others to work with. And I've now narrowed down a very, very tight focus of the type of client that I want to be working with. And I know that as I move forward, once I've validated that there's an opportunity in that market, that will be a way to 10x my business. I know people love saying 10x. Well, 10x means 10 times the results. So if that means that takes me from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month, that is awesome. I will take that every day of the week. But to be able to 10x that business, I have to be able to remove myself as a bottleneck. And by doing that, the way that I do that is by finding clients who aren't as bespoke as the clients I currently have. I'm looking at my clients and saying, which are the ones that I only have to talk to once a month or once every 3 months? Because it's a simple setup and everything just runs. That's the sort of industry that I think is going to be in your best benefit, your best interest, your best benefit to follow up and work in. But I think that at the end of the day, all the experience you get in the first year running an agency is good. It's going to teach you a ton of different things about HighLevel that you may not have otherwise known or understood. I think that is just hugely important. It's part of the growth learning curve. But then, I always say, I talk about resilience a lot. And in resilience in life, you're either stuck, you're moving forward, or you're falling behind. And it can become really easy when you're working in a software product like HighLevel to get your first 10 or so clients and go, okay, this is all the work I can handle. This is where I'm stuck. I'm stuck at this level because I'm the bottleneck and I don't have any more hours in the week to give up to my clients. That's one way to think. And then if you think that way, you might start to fall behind, because if you lose clients, okay, I've taken myself out of a sales mode. And really at the end of the day, you want to be selling this service to as many potential clients as you can. You want this to be a monthly recurring revenue system that works really, really well. So that's where you have to go, okay, even though I'm stuck in a good place, how do I move forward to get to a better place? And that's kind of what this conversation was about today, is how do you find a way to get moving forward from 10,000 to 100,000? I'm not there yet. I'm honest with you. I'm at the 10,000 level trying to get to the $100,000 level. And if you want to be a part of that journey, I've got a link to my affiliate link in the bottom here in the description of this video, and we're going to learn together. I will tell you that the client, my affiliate that I'm affiliated with out of the United States, I've talked to him several times. I find him to be a decent resource, but he is definitely skewed towards American clients. And he scratches his head a lot when you talk about Canadian issues, because that's not the world he works in. So I've yet to be able to find another Canadian high-level agency owner that is looking to help other Canadian agency owners within HighLevel. So if that's you and you want to go down this path together and share and learn from best practices, use the description in the link below, or use the link in the description below, and use that to get your 30-day free trial with HighLevel. And become part of our community, part of our group, share best practices, and let's all learn together so that we can all go from 0 to 10,000 to 100,000 and then see what lives beyond that. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. The next video I was going to talk about was going to be customer success after the first year, but I think I touched on that a little bit in this video today. So I'm going to leave it here for right now. When I post my next video, I'm going to stop and really think about some additional things that I've learned in my first year as an agency owner and where I might be able to add value to you as you get started in your journey. Thanks, everybody. I hope this video series has helped, and I will try to put out a couple more to get us up to 10, but only when I have something valuable to share. How's that sound? That's a good promise. Thanks. Again, all the information's in the description below, and we will see you shortly. Bye for now. What do you think, Ralph? Was that a good one? Or was it super boring? I don't know. I think it was a good video. What do you think? You don't look impressed.